What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at MSTR today. As you can see, we pushed back down to our horizontal level of support and resistance. We got a little bit of a bounce, but it was still kind of a bearish day, but kind of sideways at the same time. Things are it's just been kind of off, with MSTR, low volume, haven't really done much. We gapped up in the morning. We started up a little bit higher, at around 380, and we just absolutely fell within the first hour and just kind of just went sideways the rest of the day. Price action's not really looking that great, but I would imagine at some point we're gonna kick back up. I don't know when. Bitcoin's been looking good and stuff. It's just MSTR is just not really tracking the way it should be. Like even on the incremental side, like 1% versus, like every 1% on Bitcoin, it just hasn't been moving how it normally would move. But maybe we're just still in this funk for a little bit, but hopefully things will change with time. Hopefully sooner than later, especially if Bitcoin breaks out. We want to see this thing take off. So I know there's been a lot of concern with MSTR's price action. I know people have been going into Metaplanet because of it and stuff like that, and other Bitcoin treasury companies that have smaller market caps with more upside. So I get it, but for now I'm staying the course right now. So on the daily SMAs, we have fallen underneath our 20, so we're looking a little bearish there, but we're still above our 50. We want to get a bounce off this 50, or maybe just bounce off this horizontal level of support and resistance. But we definitely need to reclaim this 20. It is a little bit different than these last two legs already at this point. As you can see in this whole leg, not once did we break underneath the 20. We have not broken the 20-day in this first leg. We didn't break the 20-day on this second leg, as you can see here. This is the first time out of these three legs that we've fallen underneath the 20-day SMA. So it is already different than these first two legs. So I'm not too sure how it's going to end up playing out. Hopefully this is just a temporary move, but hopefully we can recover and start ramping back up. But this isn't looking the best as of now. It makes you start to wonder. I mean, it's still very, very early, but you start wondering, is this a double top like we've seen back in 2021? That idea here, or are we seeing the same exact move? But if Bitcoin, continues running, to 150K, 180K, I don't see this being the top. So, and I still think Bitcoin has plenty of upside. So I don't think it's going to be a double top, but it does make you start to wonder, like, is this going to play out, or what's coming? Are we just going to get less upside, in the upcoming months or something like that? So I think the MNAV is sitting at a 1.8 right now. If you look on Strategy's website, when you look at MSTR versus the global liquidity, we were tracking very well, and it looks like we were supposed to get a dip on the global liquidity, which we did. I mean, on MSTR, but I don't think this leg has started yet, so I'm not going to say that we've completely deviated from the global liquidity yet. But if we do start to see a ramp up in Bitcoin for this next leg up, and MSTR is not pushing upward, then maybe we've completely deviated from Bitcoin and global liquidity. I think for now we're okay though. When you look here on the weekly, there is no significant pullback on the global liquidity that we should have been experiencing, but we are experiencing a minor pullback. So I wonder where we're at here on the global liquidity in terms of the weekly on MSTR. But let's see what let's see if we can start rallying with the next leg that is to come. If it comes, hopefully it does. But if we do rally, we have plenty of upside when you're looking at global liquidity with this leg up and then this next leg up here. And we're actually creating fresh highs here, as you can see. So this is looking very good. So we're creating fresh highs. Looks like Bitcoin's going to have more of an extended move, which is amazing. That's definitely what we want to see. On the weekly RSI, we are making our way back to the yellow moving average. Let's see if we can get that bounce that we've been talking about. And on the daily, we're looking extremely bearish. It looks like we got an inverse head and looks like we got a head and shoulders, push down, dead cat bounce, fell even further. And now we fall underneath the midline and we're closer towards oversold territory, but we're not there yet. If you just take a horizontal line and you line up where we're currently at, you can see that we spend most of our time above this line here on the RSI. So I don't expect us to spend too much time underneath this line or at this line. I would imagine that we could get a move up, but you never know. But you can see the moves underneath last a little bit less than the moves above. You tend to see more moves to the upside. On the daily MACD, we're still in bullish territory, but it is starting to get bearish, showing momentum to the downside, and you can see the increase in volume and momentum to the downside. So hopefully we get that flip. And the same thing here on the 4-hour MACD, as you can see, momentum to the downside increasing, and this thing's looking extremely bearish. Not what we want to see. Now Bitcoin, on the other hand, looks amazing. Unlike MSTR, we're looking very good, closing higher highs, higher lows. I mean, this thing's just looking perfect right now. We got to bounce off of the top of the range, which is what we spoke about. We were saying the ideal scenario would be to get a push above here, retest, and push up higher. And it looks like we're in the middle of that move. Of course, the reason we're bullish on MSTR is because we're bullish on Bitcoin. The whole idea of even purchasing MSTR is because we're bullish on Bitcoin. But whatever MSTR does is out of our control, out of my control. I can't control what it does. I can only make my guesses and my predictions based off of Bitcoin, which is what I've been doing. Bitcoin's been doing great. MSTR has been doing bad. There's nothing we can do about it. So I'm still not gonna, abandon it yet. But yeah, MSTR is not looking as good as Bitcoin. I would just say that. On the weekly, I mean, that's beautiful. That close right here on the weekly, you almost closed almost above this recent or this local high here. So we're looking extremely good. Let's see if we can fill this wick up with a nice green candle and push up higher. Hopefully MSTR will fall in line along with it. We're looking very good. On the SMAs, we're holding our 20-day. That's the ideal scenario. Playing out perfect. 4 hours, still holding the 20 and the 50. We're kind of at a crossroads right now, running into both of them. The last time we ran into this, we ended up getting a nice explosive move to the upside. So let's see if we get something similar like that, or if we trend sideways before moving up higher. Here on MSTR divided by Bitcoin, you can see MSTR is not doing its job as it's supposed to be doing. Kind of creating a double top. If you actually look at it, it looks very clear as day actually. We have this upwards trending channel that we actually just broke down from. We closed on the weekly outside of it. Not a good sign. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we actually break back into the channel, or if we actually push up and retest the bottom of this channel and then push down further. That's definitely not what we want to see. We want to see, ideally, a push back inside, close, retest, and make our way to the top of the channel. So MSTR is doing its job and outperforming Bitcoin. Even if it's not at a 2x, it's the MNAV is showing a 1.8, but it still hasn't even been performing like a 1.8, MNAV. So hopefully it does. In terms of the SMAs, we are reaching our 200 day. So, I mean, this is a key level. This is kind of huge, if I'm being honest. If you look, the 200-day, you get sharp moves off the 200-day. So you can see those large moves off the 200-day. You definitely don't want to lose the 200. Then you can definitely get some more downside. I don't think we'll lose it, but the way it's been performing lately, anything can happen. And if we do lose it, it probably wouldn't be too long. Maybe, you know, for a week or so. As you can see here, we kind of were playing seesaw with it, up and down. But when you look at historics, we should get a nice move off of this 200 SMA off of MSTR divided by Bitcoin. And the last thing we're going to talk about is the dollar. Downward sloping trend line looking good. We got that bounce off of this, push down lower. Let's see if we get another retest and create a fresh low. But as this goes down, Bitcoin should continue to trend upward and global liquidity should continue upward. So this will help global liquidity increase. As you can see, it's creating that fresh high, which is awesome, showing that we could get an extended move here on Bitcoin after this. It's probably going to be a severe drawdown here. Maybe we'll get a 20-30% drawdown on Bitcoin before the next blast off. Not right now, but I'm saying later on, once, for instance, let's say up here we're at 180 or 200K, or I don't know. I'm just throwing out random numbers. Maybe we get a 20-30% drawdown from that point and then continue pushing up even higher. So later in that move on Bitcoin, there is going to be some kind of large drawdown that we have not seen, as you can see here in global liquidity. As you can see from this point, we haven't had any severe drawdowns, but this one's going to be a pretty decent sized one compared to all of these here. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so the dollar dropping will increase global liquidity. Hopefully we can make it to that red target. If not, it's still okay. But we just want to see that dollar continue to drop. We want to reach that 95 target and continue to hug this downward sloping trend line and continue creating fresh lows to the downside. Overall, though, I still remain bullish on MSTR solely because I'm bullish on Bitcoin, and I feel like MSTR will eventually start to do its job. And that will reflect in the MSTR divided by Bitcoin. This is ultimately the chart to look at. Is MSTR doing its job? This is what we want to see. We don't want to see this. We want to see this right here. We want to see these moves. So if we can start getting some moves like this, then you'll start seeing people FOMO back into MSTR for sure. That's all I have for you guys. Like and subscribe, share with a friend. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one.